Hey, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen to sit there and see what we all have cooking. Well, grab a hold of that vine, swing right on to my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. This week, we're going to sit there and do a little bit of urban homesteading, and I'm going to sit there and show you what I do with a number 10 can of mushrooms. Now, I'm going to sit there and take that number 10 can, we're going to recan it, and one of the recipes I'm using to recan it is making mushroom jam. So be sure to grab a hold of that vine and swing right onto my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Hey there, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today because I'm grabbing my balls and I'm gonna sit there and fill them up with some deliciousness for my sons and my husband because they're mushroom lovers, and because it was a holiday and I had to open up my number 10 can of mushrooms, and I have some leftover mushrooms and I'm not gonna let them go to waste. So I figured this would be a great time to bring you along to show you one of the ways that I recan number 10 cans of canned mushrooms, and this is the pieces and stems. So let's go ahead and jump right on into one of the recipes that I use to recan those number 10 cans of mushrooms. Okay, let's get started. What you're going to be needing is 2 sweet Vidalia onions. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit there and chop mine all up. Now, a neat little tip and trick when I'm chopping up my onions and I don't want to get my little handy chopper out, I'll just cut the onions in half as such. And it's easier to sit there and take the first layer all the way off. I leave the root in. Okay. Now I'll sit there and I take my knife Oop, I didn't mean to cut that all the way off, but that's okay. Now this very top part, I'm just gonna remove that because I don't want that. Now just slice, and you got little chopped onion. There's no reason to sit there and go like that because look, they're already come pre-sliced. Mother Nature's doing all the work for you. And then you just grab your little root in and throw that in the scrap pile. And look who's here! Fabio! Yay! Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna sit there and grab 2 tablespoons of oil, and we're gonna sit there and put it in the bottom of Fabio. We're gonna sit there, grab the onions. We're also gonna put all of the chopped onions in Fabio. And now guess what? I'm gonna let him sit there and saute my onions up, and I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna push the jam button, and I'm gonna sit here and push the enter button. I'm gonna grab the cover, and we're gonna put the cover on and let it run the whole cycle. And while the Fresh Tech Jam and Jelly Maker is sitting there cooking down the onion and making it all nice and translucent for me, I'm gonna sit there and go measure out 4 cups of the canned mushrooms here. Here I am letting the mushrooms drain, You don't have to get all the liquid out. Try to get as much liquid out as possible. So I'll see you when I'm all done measuring out my mushrooms. Now, I like doing it the urban homesteading way because I don't have to sit there, clean the mushrooms, and I don't have to sit there and slice them all up. They're already pre-sliced for me. Now let's talk about the rest of the ingredients. You're gonna need 4 to 6 cloves of minced garlic. Well, I have the dried dehydrated minced garlic and I used a half a tablespoon. You're gonna sit there and need 1 teaspoon of salt and a half of a teaspoon of black pepper. Gonna need 2 tablespoons of honey. You're gonna need 1 cup of white wine. You're gonna need 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, and you're gonna need 1 cup of water, and of course the 4 cups of drained mushrooms. My Fresh Tech jam and jelly maker is sounded off. Now it has to go through a cool off period. This is a great time for me to sit there and put the rest of my ingredients in there. For when it's done doing its cool off period, we can quick get jamming. So I'm going to remove the lid and we're going to sit there and put the rest of our ingredients in. We're going to sit there and add our honey, our salt and pepper, the dried minced garlic, go ahead, add our wine, add the water, add the apple cider vinegar, and add your 4 cups of canned mushrooms. Okay, let's be jamming. I'm gonna push the jam button and I'm gonna push enter. And I'm gonna let it do another jam session for me. And we can remove our lids because we want most of this liquid to absorb back up into the mushrooms, and also we want it to condense down into a real delicious sauce that's gonna encase all of the mushrooms. Okay, while the jam and jelly maker here is doing its little business, I want to talk about this recipe. It is not a USDA approved canning recipe. It is a Canning Rebel recipe. Alright, with that all being said, I just want to sit there and put this little friendly reminder out there. I want to remind everybody to always please, 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 please be kind and respectful to all canning videos that are out there. We're all out there to sit there and embrace each other. I don't believe in trash talking others out there or other people's methods. If you're not comfortable with somebody doing a certain canning method, please be respectful and just go off their site and move on. I am not a USDA site, so please do not quote me. And like I said, please don't trash other people's methods. I am here to embrace all methods of canning here, And like I said, please, 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 please do all of your own research before proceeding to can any of the canning recipes or canning videos that you may see here or out there in YouTube land or on Facebook or any other social media site. So here's to happy cooking, but better yet, happy eatins. And y'all have fun canning now. Okay, the jam and jelly maker sounded off. I'm going to allow it to go through another cool down period, and then we're going to do another jam session. We be jamming, we be jamming. The jam and jelly maker went through another cool off period. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to push the jam button on, and I'm going to come over this time to the increase button or the plus button, and we're going to sit there and go up to 30 minutes. Then we're going to come over here, push the enter button, and let it jam on. Now, as you see, most of the liquid has evaporated or condensed down. Now, we're just going to continue for the last 9 minutes of this cycle to run, and we're going to just kind of brown up all those mushrooms. So, are you a rebel canner? And if you are, what do you all rebel can? Leave a comment down below. I'd be interested in hearing what you all rebel can up yourselves. Now, this is going to be sounding off real soon. I believe we're in our last minute of this, and then we're just going to put it into half-pint jars, and we're going to leave half-inch headspace, and as always, debubble your jars. And there we go. That's how easy it was to make mushroom jam. Now, like I said, you're not going to want to go any larger than a half-pint jar. Now, I have my canning funnel, I have my canning ladle. I'm just going to go in. We're going to grab the mushrooms. We're going to put them in our canning jar. Okay, I have my debubbler here. Now, we're just going to go in and go all the way around and kind of get them all nice and packed into the jar, but not super packed. And we're going to want to leave half-inch head space. So and there you go. We sat there and we filled it up. We somewhat packed it down in there. We debubbled our jar. We wiped the rim of our jar off. Then we sat there and put our canning lid and our canning ring on, and we finger tightened it. Now, off to the pressure canner it goes, and I'm pressure canning these half pints. And by the way, do not go any larger than a half pint. But we're going to pressure can these at 45 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. And I always label mine before I put it into the pressure canner or hot water bath canner But there you go. Look at that goodness in a jar. It's all ready to go right on to any grilled thing that you may be grilling this season. And the best thing is, you won't find this in any grocery store, but maybe in your gourmet section of your pantry, you'll be able to go and get one out and sit there and deliver lots of flavor to savor to all of your guests that you may be grilling out for. So here's to happy cooking, but better yet, happy eatins'. Now that's how easy it was to take that number 10 can of mushrooms and we turned it into mushroom jam. Now I have one more recipe that will be following this recipe, so be sure to sit there and follow that recipe because I'm pretty sure you're all gonna love that recipe too. So as always, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. If you're a new subscriber to my channel, welcome, and if you're not yet a subscriber, go up, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell, that way you'll always be notified every time I do put out a new video. And here's to happy cooking, but better yet, happy eatins'. Y'all come back now, you hear?